The staff first noticed the woman as soon as the black limousine rolled up to the gravel driveway of Crescent Bay Inn. It was rare for anyone that rich to stay in such a modest place. But there she was, tall, graceful, wrapped in a flowing charcoal gray overcoat despite the humid Georgia heat. She didn't speak as Anthony opened the door. She only gave a small nod and handed over a reservation card neatly printed in English. But the moment she tried to say something else, her voice faltered, and the staff stared blankly. She spoke in Japanese, gentle, precise, and sorrowful, but no one understood a word. Anthony tried to smile it off and usher her inside. "Ma'am, we don't speak that, sorry," he said with a shrug. The manager, Mrs. Whitaker, gave her one look and whispered behind the front desk, "High maintenance. This one's going to be trouble." Reiko didn't protest. She just stood there quietly, clutching her handbag as if it were the only anchor she had left in the world. In the following days, her presence became a silent spectacle. She rarely left her room, except to visit the garden or sit silently by the bay. She tried to communicate a few times with the staff requesting something, perhaps, but each time they waved her off, responding with awkward gestures and mumbled English. Behind her back, whispers followed. "She gives me the creeps, probably one of those rich weirdos. She could at least try to speak English." Mrs. Whitaker even joked once, "For all we know, she could be cursing us out in that language of hers." Danielle Carter didn't laugh. She had watched Reiko from the background, observing with quiet curiosity. Every morning when she came to tidy the rooms, she saw the woman's shoes placed perfectly at the doorway, her suitcase still unopened in the corner, and a small black and white photo frame on the bedside table, a picture of a young Japanese man smiling at the camera. Danielle noticed how each day, Reiko would light a tiny incense stick next to that photo and sit silently for 10 minutes. Her back straight, hands in her lap, eyes closed. On the 5th day, something shifted. It was raining heavily that morning. Danielle was mopping the hallway near room 208 when she heard a soft sob from inside. It wasn't loud, more like a held-in cry finally slipping through the cracks. For a moment, Danielle hesitated. Her training told her to respect guests' privacy, but her instincts told her something else. She knocked once. No answer. Then slowly, gently, she pushed the door open. Reiko was sitting on the floor beside her bed, the incense unlit, photo frame clutched tightly to her chest. Her face was soaked with tears, eyes red, lips trembling. Danielle stepped in slowly and knelt beside her, not speaking. "Not yet. Then, softly, in perfect, fluid Japanese, Danielle said, "Dajubu desu ka?" "R. You okay?" Reiko looked up in stunned disbelief, as if someone had just pulled her out of drowning water. "Anata, Nihongo ga hanaseru no?" You can speak Japanese?" Danielle nodded. "Sukoshi dake, Nihon de Sagaku o Benkyu Shimashita." Eh? "Little, I studied mathematics in Japan." The next moments were flooded with words, grief, memory, pain, all spilled from Reiko's trembling lips. Danielle didn't understand everything, but she understood enough. Reiko had come to America, not as a tourist, but as a sister. Her only sibling, Kenji, had lived in Savannah for over a decade. He had recently died alone in a car accident. His body was cremated, and his ashes returned to her. She came to the U.S. hoping to feel close to where he lived, to understand the life he led. But instead of comfort, she had found walls everywhere. No one had tried to see her. No one had listened. Danielle didn't offer cliches. She didn't tell Reiko everything would be all right. She simply stayed beside her, translating what she could, listening, and most importantly, seeing her. When she left that day, she bowed slightly before closing the door. News of what happened spread through the staff later that afternoon. Anthony asked, surprised, "You speak Japanese?" Danielle simply nodded. Mrs. Whitaker looked slightly embarrassed but tried to mask it. "Well, that's quite the talent." Over the next few days, everything changed. Danielle became the only staff member Reiko interacted with. They shared tea together in the quiet lounge every evening. Sometimes Reiko would teach Danielle new words, laughing softly when she mispronounced them. Other times, Reiko would bring out her brother's photo and tell stories from their childhood, how they used to sneak out for shaved ice, how he taught her to swim, how he had always wanted to live in America. Danielle, in turn, told her about her brief years in Kyoto, how she had loved the peaceful shrines and vending machines that sold everything from umbrellas to ice cream, on her final day. Reiko requested a ride to the Savannah riverbank. Danielle accompanied her. They stood silently as Reiko released a handful of flower petals into the water. Her voice shook slightly as she whispered a final goodbye to Kenji. Danielle didn't need a translation. Back at the hotel. As Reiko checked out, she handed Mrs. Whitaker an envelope and a short note written in clear English. "Thank you for the stay. Please give this to Danielle." Mrs. Whitaker raised an eyebrow but said nothing. When Danielle opened the envelope that evening, she found two things: a letter written in both Japanese and English, thanking her for her humanity, and a check for $50,000, a gift Reiko called not payment but recognition. Danielle stood there for a long time, the letter trembling in her hands. She didn't care about the money. What mattered more was the line Reiko had written at the end, translated perfectly, "Thank you for seeing me when no one else even tried."